Well, hey everybody, welcome back to the channel. Or if you are new to the channel, welcome to Larry's House of Hockey. One cool thing that might come across hopefully on this video, got a new phone. Because I do a lot of the videos with my phone. And got a new one. And the camera on this thing is just taking pictures and stuff. It's phenomenal. So hopefully you guys might be able to tell somewhat of a difference, because it's really good. But it's that time of the week again. It is week 7 for my power rankings, and some teams moved, some teams didn't, some kind of stayed the same. Some, we'll see as we go along. But starting out, number 32, a spot that they're very familiar with, and they stay in that same spot. It's San Jose. Now, the Sharks, they didn't really have a bad week in comparison to what they have been, but they went 1-2 on the week, and they've gone 4-5-1 in the last 10. So it's not horrible, but still not quite enough to get out of that 32nd spot. Number 31, moving down one spot, and these guys didn't exactly have a real great week. They went 1-2 on the week, but they did win the last game. And Chicago. So the Hawks are number 31. Of course, they've got a few of their own issues going on right now, trying to figure out what's going on with Corey Perry. And again, this is kind of where we expected them to be. And they're a young team, so they're going to be in that neck of the woods. Number 30. Now these guys just keep on cratering. If they have another week similar to this last week, or even just like the last couple of weeks, they could be down here. And you never know, if San Jose could get something to go, they could be right here. That's my hometown team. That's the Minnesota Wild. This team is a disaster right now. Absolute disaster. They went 0-1-1 on the week. They've gone 2-6-2 in the last 10. As I said, they right now are an unmitigated disaster. And honestly, it's weird. Because, you see where they're at in the standings right now. And for the longest time, when you've had like these really good draft picks that have been available, this is when I've wanted them to be bad. But there's not a Connor Bedard level, pick that's just, taking over. That's just taking over right now and is going to be the clear consensus number 1 pick. So now, of course, the Wild are going to be bad. Never fails, right? For when you want a team to be bad, they aren't. But then they're all of a sudden bad when there's not a franchise level franchise changing level pick sitting there. So of course the Wild are going to be bad. But boy, number 30, oofta. Number 29. Now these guys moved down 2 spots. It was looking like they were getting their stuff together. They were kind of getting going a little bit, and then they crashed right back down to earth. Edmonton. They fired the coach because a lot of time the coach is always ends up being the fall guy. So they had a couple of good games after they fired the coach, and they're right back to where they were. It's not a pretty sight. The Oilers are just I don't know. I cannot imagine how frustrating this has got to be for Connor McDavid and Leon Draisaitl and those boys, because this is getting crazy. In order for them to win, they might have to leave Edmonton, and that's sad to say, but right now, it's a disaster. Number 28. Now these guys, you talk about a team that's cratering. These guys dropped 4 spots. They've lost 5 straight. Anaheim. They were off. They had such a fantastic start. Such a good start. And I was thinking, it'd be awesome if they could keep this going. They haven't been able to do it. I mean, if I look back on these from the last few weeks, they were 24 last week. The week before that, they were 21st. The week before that, they were 15th. Let's see the highest they've been. Where have they been the highest? Okay, week 3 they were 24th. So I mean the highest there they were 15th in week 4. I'm just going to see here what their highest position was. And so, it's yeah, their highest was 15th. And that was 4 weeks ago. So they went in 3 weeks. They have went from 15th all the way to 28th in 3 weeks. That is a monumental drop. And it just doesn't seem to be getting better for them. It's not good. So yeah, they are 28th. Number 27. Now, mainly because you had a couple of these teams drop, this team ended up moving up. They didn't have too bad of a. I mean, they're still 2-6-2 in the last 10, but they've won 2 in a row. And it's Columbus. So, Columbus not really doing a whole. I mean, winning 2 in a row, that's good. It's all well and good, but they're still not really helping their cause much here. They still only went 2-1 on the week, and they're 2-6-2 in the last 10. Winning 2 in a row, though, it's a good start. So we'll see if they can. Build on that. Number 26, another team that is absolutely cratering right now. Even though they won, they just won the last game. This is another team that's just dropped like a stone. New Jersey. What in the world is going on with the New Jersey Devils? I don't know. I don't know what's going on with the Devils. Their last game was I don't know. They're not good right now. And New Jersey was considered. I mean, I had them in the preseason. I had them as one of my top teams. I mean, I had them making a run to the finals, and this is another team that if I looked back on their highest position, week one I had them 11th. I had them 11th in the first week. It's just been a steady decline, 11 to 16 in week 2. Then they went back up to 12 in the third week, and it just, and it's been a steady decline ever since, really. I mean, they were 10th in week 4. It was looking like, okay, they're kind of hanging in there. They were 10th in week 4, and then 18th in week 5. Had them 19th last week. So, they're another team that's just, I don't know what's going on with them. But, here they are right now, 26, dropped 7 spots. They got to figure something out there because it's not a pretty sight right now. Number 25, staying in the exact same spot as they did last week. They went 2-1-1 on the week, 4-4-2 in the last 10. They did lose their last game, but they stay in the same spot. That's Buffalo. So the Sabres, again, another one of these teams that we're not sure of. This is a team, they haven't made the playoffs in 10 years. It'd be nice to see them get back to the playoffs. But, man, you don't know what you're getting with these guys. They're good one game, bad the next, good, bad. They're good, they're bad, they're ugly. They're all three, basically. But right now, they're number 25. They stayed in the same spot. Number 24. Now, these guys moved up 2 spots. Again, they did kind of help their cause a little bit. They did lose their last game. They went 2-2 on the week, 5-3-2 in the last 10. Calgary. So the Flames, of course, another one of these teams. We're just not sure what. We don't know what they are. What are they? Other than they have guys that are demanding trades. They have a number. They have at least. Zadorov has already come out and said, "I want out," and they're taking calls on a couple of their other free agents that will be unrestricted free agents at the end of next year or at the end of this year. So I don't know what's going to happen with Calgary, but they moved up 2 spots. It's small step, baby steps, right? So yeah. Number 23, another team that's dropped a lot. They went 1-2 on the week. They did win their last game. They're 4-5-1 in the last 10, but they dropped 7 spots. Arizona. Now again, it's not necessarily because the Coyotes, played, horrible, but with some of these other teams, some of these other teams that actually kind of moved up and just, it's right in this area. It is the epitome of a complete cluster with the way teams move up, move down. So yeah, Arizona dropping 7 spots. Eesh. So number 22 though. Now these guys moved up 1 spot, and again it's they went 2-1. They went 2-1 on the week. That's kind of what I'm basing this little movement on, moving up 1 spot because they went 2-1. Montreal. So the Habs. Again, this is a team that looks like is making moves, or they look good and then they look bad. It just, you don't know. And there's talk that they might be shopping Jake Allen, which I don't necessarily know why, but apparently they're potentially shopping Jake Allen. Who knows? Guess we'll have to see what they do. Number 21. Now these guys had a nice movement. They went undefeated this week. They're 5-5 in the last 10, but they've won 4 in a row. They moved up 7 spots. Nashville. It's good to see the Predators on the move. On the move in the right way. Moving up, not down. So, moving 7 spots, pretty good. I thought about moving them up a little more, but I thought, I don't want to go too overboard, even though they have won 4 straight. But, it's just, I didn't want to go too overboard and, bump them up, like 9 or 10 spots. So I thought, I thought 21, it's a good spot for them. I mean, they were 28th last week, so, moving them up 7 spots. Not bad for a good week that you've gone undefeated in. Number 20. Now these guys went. Where did they go on the week? They went 2-2 on the week. They did win their last game. They're 6-4 in the last 10. Pittsburgh. So the Penguins are, again, they're another one of these teams that just, they look good. They had a nice little win streak. And then they've kind of fallen back to earth a little bit. They're still, they're out of the bottom row, fortunately. But again, another team, you don't know what you're getting with these guys. So, right now, number 20, they dropped 3 spots. But, again, it's because some teams moved up and, some teams just had, a little better weeks. Number 19. Now, the Penguins, who dropped 3 spots, these guys moved up 3 spots. They did go undefeated in regulation this week. They went 2-0-1. And even though they're 3-4-3 in the last 10, they did lose in extra time in their last game. It's the New York Islanders. So the Isles, again, this is a team that, again, what are you getting? They've got phenomenal goaltending. I mean, Sorokin and Varlamov are fantastic, and again, it's just, what are you getting from them? It'd be nice to see them not so up and down either. But right now, they're number 19. Moved them up 3 spots, and we'll see if they can do some more. Number 18. Now these guys moved up 2 spots also. These guys, they went 1-1-1 on the week. They did lose their last game. They're 4-3-3 in the last 10. So, Seattle. So the Kraken are, again, they're a team too. It's like, what are you getting with them? Other than unveiling some really nice Winter Classic jerseys, again, they're another one of those teams that's just, what's going on with them? We're not entirely sure. Just kind of got to play it by ear, I guess. Number 17. Now these guys moved up 4 spots. They had a decent week. I mean, they didn't light the world on fire, but again, we've had, teams moving up, moving down. So, it kind of bumped them up 4 spots. They went, what did they go? They went 2-1 on the week, 6-4 in the last 10. St. Louis. So the Blues, again, they're another one of those teams. What are we getting? You got, Krug's kind of getting going a little bit. Bennington's done well. Bennington's done well lately. Both goaltenders have actually done pretty well for the Blues lately. And, again, we got to see if they can keep it going. See if they can keep going in that red trajectory. Number 16. Now, these guys dropped 1 spot. They dropped 1 spot. They dropped 1 spot mainly because they only played 1 game and they lost. That's why they dropped. Ottawa. So, yeah, the reason they dropped is because they only played 1 game this week and they lost. So, that's why I dropped them 1 spot, because, I mean, you only play 1 game, you lose it, you kind of got to drop a spot, right? So, yeah. Once they get a little more games under their belt, maybe next week, maybe they can they can move back up again. Number 15, moving up 3 spots. These guys were a nice little mover and shaker this week. And they got back their goaltender. They went 2-0-1 on the week. They're 5-3-2 in the last 10. They did win their last game. And again, like I said, they got the goaltender back. Andrei Vasilevsky is back. And if Vasi can stay healthy and this team can string together some wins, I can see this team doing this. Whoop! And potentially ending up in that row. Vasilevsky, they had the rough patch. They got through it. They got through it with Vasilevsky being hurt. And so, I mean, they kind of hung in. They still end up, even with Vasilevsky hurt. And he comes back. I mean, Tampa is 10-6-5 on the year. That's, I mean, yeah, a lot of people would say, well, they only won 10 of 21 games. Yeah, but they're, it's that 3-point system. So I mean, 10-6-5. We'll see what they can do though with Vasi back. I expect them to have some good results. I've got some faith that they'll have some good results now with Vasi back in net. Number 14, dropping 3 spots. Now this is a team that I don't know, and especially their last game against Tampa. Oh, ew, just ew, Carolina. What in the world was with that last game? What in the world? I mean, how do you have it where you have a below 500 save percentage? What did I hear that it was? Like 493 or something that Antti Ranta was? How? What? How? I mean, fortunately it is only one game, but ooh, ew, ouch. Just painful. So yeah, that kind of dropped them. It dropped them 3 spots. And again, I mean, went 1-1 on the week, 6-4-0 in the last 10. But man, that last game they played in the immortal words of Steve Dangle, oof, Maron. And I'm Italian, so I can kind of get away with it. But yeah, oofta, 14. Giving up 8 goals on like 14 shots. Just awful. Number 13. Now these guys, they stayed in the same spot. They went 2-2 on the week, so it kind of makes sense to keep them in the same spot. 6-4 in the last 10. Philadelphia. So the Flyers, they're a team that also, again, they're hanging in. They're, they've got a, they're just, again, another one of those teams. They look good one game, not so much the next. But they're kind of right there in the middle. They're in the middle of the second row, and we'll see what they can do. Number 12. Now these guys have dropped 2 spots. They did great when they were over in Sweden. They've come back though, and yeah, they haven't looked great. They've lost 2 in a row. One of them in overtime. They went 1-1-1 on the week, 5-3-2 in the last 10. Toronto. They went over to Sweden and they looked good. They looked real good over in Sweden. They won both the games that they were there for. So, then they come back here and now they've lost 2 in a row. One of them in overtime. A game, honestly, that they should have won in overtime. But again, it's Toronto, and it's, we're just, there again, another one of those teams. What are you going to get? You got that core 4 there. I don't know. You kind of expect them to be a little higher than 12th, though. Number 11. Moving up 3 spots. Now, these guys had a good week. They went undefeated this last week. They're 5-3-2 in the last 10. They're on a 2-game winning streak. Detroit. So the Red Wings had a fantastic week. They won both games this week, and they are looking like they're turning things around. And Detroit is one of those teams. I mean, can they threaten for a playoff spot? I think they certainly could. And if they make the playoffs, who knows what happens? There's still a lot of people that still aren't completely sold on the Yzer plan. Steve Yzerman's a mad genius. So yeah, I trust him implicitly with the plan that he's got going on. So yeah, Detroit's number 11. Number 10. Now these guys, they had a good little run last week, but they dropped 5 spots this week. They dropped 5 spots because they've lost 2 straight. They went 1-2 on the week, losing 2 straight. Florida. So the Panthers, again, they were another one of those teams that looked really good. And I mean, again, dropping 5 spots. They were 5th last week. Dropped them all. That dropped them all the way to 10. So, and again, it's not because necessarily that they did anything that was that egregious to drop them that far. It's just there was a couple other teams that moved up the board big time. That is one of the main reasons why they dropped so far. But yeah, so Florida, they're still in the top 10, and we'll see if they can keep it there. Number 9, staying in the same spot. Now these guys stayed in the same spot. They went 1-1 on the week. They did lose their last game. They are 7-2-1 in the last 10. Washington. So the Capitals staying at number 9, and again, we'll see what they can we'll see what they can do. They've been hot lately, and we'll see what happens. I mean, 7-2-1 in the last 10. It's not bad. We'll see if they can still keep that going. Number 8, another team staying in the exact same spot as last week, and they went. Where are they? They went 2-2 this last week. They did lose their last game, 5-5 in the last 10. Vancouver. Now, I didn't feel that great last week, dropping them all the way to 8th last week. Well, this week they stay in the exact same spot. Again, I didn't feel that they deserved to get bumped down because of their week. But again, they ended up staying in the same spot because there were some teams that took some big moves and are looking pretty good. So Vancouver stays at number 8. Number 7, dropping 1 spot. Even though, again, not a horrible week, but not the greatest. 1-1-1 on the week. 5-4-1 in the last 10. They did lose their last game. Dallas. So the Dallas Stars, of course, they stay in the exact same spot too. Or no, they moved down 1 spot. What am I talking about? They moved down 1 spot. Again, they moved down 1 spot because, again, there were a couple of teams that had some big moves, had some pretty big movement, and definitely did the old leapfrog of Vancouver and Dallas. So yeah, Dallas number 7, number 6. One of the bigger movers this week, moving up 6 spots. They went 2-0 in the week. They're 8-2 in the last 10, and they've won 5 in a row. And I love it. I absolutely love it. Winnipeg. Let's go Winnipeg. This is fun to watch. This is a team that started out where they didn't get off to a hot start. The building was not being filled. And stories were out there. Can hockey work in Winnipeg? As to which I immediately was like, I heard those stories and I literally, if I was a Tom and Jerry cartoon, you would have had the steam coming out of my ears and the top of my head popping off. Doing the old That's what I thought about those stories. I don't think hockey can work in Winnipeg. All while I'm thinking, and Arizona exists. A team that's playing in a building that barely holds 5,000 total people, and Winnipeg doesn't work. It just baffled me when I heard that. So seeing them on this nice little run that they're on, winners of 5 in a row, is absolutely awesome. And I want to see more. I'd like to see them go higher. I love what Winnipeg is doing. So yeah, moving up 6 spots, pretty darn good. Number 5. Now these guys had a little bit of a drop, mainly because they've lost. They're seeming like they're human. They honestly are seeming like they're human. They've lost 2 in a row. They went 1-2-1 in the last week, 5-3-2 in the last 10. But again, losers of 2 in a row, and dropped them 3 spots. Boston. So the Bruins, again, like I said, they're looking human. They really are looking human, and to see them drop 3 spots, I mean, you want to go and lose a couple games in a row, you're going to drop some. But yeah, so Boston looking kind of human right now. Sitting at number 5. Number 4. Now these guys stayed in the same spot. Even though they didn't have the greatest week. They went 1-2. They ended up going 1-2. But again, Boston losing 2 in a row. That's why they didn't really drop. Vegas. So the Knights, the defending champions, again, another team that's looking somewhat human, but they stay in the same spot, and I think it's kind of right where they should be right now. Number 3. Now these guys, they moved up 4 spots, and they're looking like they're back on track. And again, they went 3-1 on the week, winners of 3 in a row, Colorado. So the Avalanche are looking like a machine. They're looking like that machine again. And they're looking fantastic. They really are. And right now they're just, winners of 3 straight. Pretty good. Pretty good. And I fully expect them to kind of, be in this top 5. I fully expect them to kind of remain in that area. We'll see if they can. Number 2. Only moving up 1 spot, but these guys are on a heater right now too. They went 3-0 on the week, 8-1-1 in the last 10, winners of 5 straight. The LA Kings. So the Kings are another team that just they're going out and they're doing what they got to do. They're going out, they're winning games, they're looking good, and I mean, they're winning the games that they have to. Winning 5 straight, I mean, that's pretty darn good. Was it 5 straight? Yeah, winners of 5 straight. Yeah, really, really good. So yeah, they're number 2. Number 1, staying in the same spot as last week. They went 3-1 on the week, 8-1-1 in the last 10, and they are winners of 3 in a row. It's one of the reasons why I couldn't put LA above them. The New York Rangers. Now, the Rangers are, you want to talk about a team that is just on fire right now. I mean, we kind of expected the Rangers to be a decent team, but 15-3-1? Don't know if we thought that. Don't know if we thought the Rangers would be 15-3-1. But there they are. 15-3-1 on the year. Number 1 this week again for the 2nd week in a row. And yeah, so not too bad. So let me know what you guys think about this week's power rankings. If you like the video, it'd be greatly appreciated. It would be very, very awesome. It would mean a lot to me if you'd hit that like button. Again, it would mean very, very much to me. It would be absolutely awesome if you really like the video, if you hit that subscribe button. And if you want to be notified anytime future videos are uploaded, you can tap that little bell icon and you will be notified anytime one of my videos goes live. And yeah, so week 7 of the Power Rankings. Let me know what you guys think. Do you think do I have the do I have the right teams where they are, especially in the top row? Are the teams where they should be? Or do you think I'm totally out of my mind? Let me know what you guys think. Again, hit like and subscribe if you have not done it yet already. It'd be awesome if you did that. It would be greatly, greatly appreciated. I would love it for sure. And again, let me know in the comments section what you guys think. I will see you guys later.